And
So
Sue,
I'll pick up on so much of the last couple of people said. What I loved was that you used that word and you didn't know why, Aufhebung,
do you
because it's it's a very specific, and again, it's a theological word, and you've done a lot of theology today, which is interesting to me. My husband's a political theologian at the university, so I'm going, okay. So you're picking something up.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful word, Aufhebung, because it's a best translation of a Greek word that means to annul,
Oh,
to wipe it out, but to bring something fresh through, because the thing that is passing away or being annulled, it hasn't got any more applicability after it. It's kind of like you say, oh, it's full, it's fulfilled, it's filled up, you can't use it anymore. But you bring through something new from it. So when you said about the friction between suffering and the ego, and you go, oh yeah. So the third thing that comes through, the Aufhebung, is something that wouldn't have been able to happen if the friction hadn't happened. So you're grateful for what went before, but actually friction after a bit is going to break something. So you have to say, it's lived past its sell-by date. Something new comes through. It's a dialogical rather than dialectic. It's not a synthesis, it's a transcendent move forward, because the fullness of the other thing is birthing something emergent. So sorry to go on at length, but honestly, it's such a key word in philosophy and in chaos theory, even this emergence of things that couldn't exist without the previous thing. But if we keep going back to the previous thing, we're going to cause a breakdown. So I think you found the word. It's the magic word for the moment to say we have to live with the friction because it creates. But if you overlive with it, if you don't say, no, I've got to notice this and then move through it, as Brendan said, or wait until that moment, there's a katargesis, there's a finishing of the old to bring through all the best of the old into something that wouldn't exist otherwise. So I'm really grateful, because I love language and I love theology and I love newness, and I love that you just picked it up and go, I don't know why I'm using this word, but it was for me, if nobody else. But there's magic in that. Thank you.
wow. Jeez, what you just said. Whew. That is super amazing. And tell me that other word you use, catargesis. Can you just tell me if I'm pronouncing it right so I can go on a 3-hour wormhole?
Katargesis, yeah, it's yeah, Old Testament, no, New Testament.
Beautiful. But this thing of an emergence of a new thing out of the breakdown of the old, that it loses its applicability, that the strategy is annulled. It's no longer, it can't do the job we thought it could do. We saw it doesn't work. It works a lot, but it doesn't work all the time. And out of that annulment, to the extent that, we've gone to the limit, there's the Aufhebung of this new, and that's the essence quality and the virtue.
Wonderful.
Isn't it incredible? That's so wonderful. And it's so funny. Like in that moment, I literally could not find another word. There was no word anywhere except Aufhebung.
Wonderful. I mean, seriously wonderful, because Hegel, I mean, he changed the world actually by moving those kind of words around, didn't he? Because he was reaching for something beyond synthesis. And when we were talking earlier, it was really, impactful, the whole thing of the polarities, that we're not bringing them together and finding a consensus. It's like male, female, we get a new life. It's the polarities that somehow interact in order to bring through something that wouldn't have existed without them coming together. It's not synthesis, it's not quietness and balance, it's creative ever-emergence.
Oh.
But then I would say that because I'm an egg.
No, but look, I mean, I've got goosebumps because what you are talking about some kind of, that's why it's the law of three has this grace. It's grace because there's some emergence of some kind of mysterious new thing that we couldn't have thought, okay, now I'm just going to be balanced. Like there's a quality to it. There's a kind of divinity to the quality. You know, it's a magical property or something. I mean, I don't know what language to use, but the substance of essence is what we realize. Oh, there's this. Oh, there's this ground of being when I fall through the nothingness. And I get courage from dropping into the ground of being, not from an idea of courage and bravery. It's like, oh, this is what courage is. It's aufheben, from terror and having to face, face my fear.
Thank you.
Yeah, wow, thank you for that. Jeez, that is super amazing what you said. Yeah, I also love language. I love it so much. Every 5 minutes, I'm going for the etymology of a word, and it takes up a lot of my time.
I'll meet you there.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Thanks.
finish my PhD, and I can't because every word I have to go and do this. But yeah, let me stop right there, zip my face. Anybody who wants to check out